A cotton bud, you can see here in the left ear, this is the patient's left ear, the indentation made with the cotton bud. You can see the spherical shape of it imprinted within the wax. Now this plug of wax also has a layer, a coating if you like, of dead keratin. So this dead keratin, which is originally lining the ear canal, has died and it's attached itself and enveloped itself around this plug of wax. And it's really strongly adhered to the base of the ear canal here. So I'm trying to just wriggle this and lift it off the canal, but it's, as I said, it's tightly attached and adhered. And I'm just using the suction probe here. So this is a standard Zollner suction probe. There's different types of suction probes available. The Zollner is most commonly used in the ear for oral microsuction. You can get a McGill suction probe, which is a bit larger in diameter. So with a larger diameter, you get more suction power, but it's a lot more noisier. And I don't really ever feel the need to use a larger suction probe than the Zollner. And you can get other types like Fraser's, which is a bit longer. Some of those are used for middle ear surgery when the surgeon is suctioning fluid or blood, for example, out of the middle ear. I've just lifted the plug of wax, and which is, you can see the keratin there, it's really enveloped itself. And actually with the forceps on that occasion, it actually detached the keratin, the dead skin, from the underneath of the plug of wax. Now you'll see in a moment, this patient's got a very large bony protrusion on their anterior canal wall. So when we're in the left ear, the anterior canal wall is the left-hand side of the ear canal. So that's the anterior part, the front part of the ear canal. The back part to the right in the left ear is the posterior canal wall. And it's quite a significant protrusion. And that protrusion, it may be that the patient's just born with this, so it's a congenital. It's just the way their ear canal was, whether it's genetic or whether it was just born in that way. And that's how it's been since birth. Sometimes people can get bone spurs in the ear, otherwise known as exostosis. A lot of people, swimmers or surfers, can develop that. You can see to the left, it's a really large protrusion there. And that has caused the wax to get trapped. So when we're trying to pull this wax plug out, unbeknown to me at the time, so I'd never met the patient before, that they've got this bony protrusion. And that's why sometimes I always prefer to use suction, because if you can imagine in that left ear that I went in with a hook, because obviously we'd have to go quite deep in with the hook to get in and behind that wax plug. So imagine I went in with the hook over the back of the wax plug and I rotated the hook and then I pulled outwards. It's very likely that hook, the tip of the hook, would have caught that bony part of the ear canal, which would have grazed the canal, cut the canal even. It would be very uncomfortable for the patient. So whenever we go in the ear, whenever I can only speak for myself, whenever I enter someone's ear, initially I'm kind of sparring with the ear. I'm trying to work out the anatomy, how it did, the wax is, the depth, which tools would be safe to use. And safety for me is always the most paramount. So now I've gone to the patient's right ear. I use some drops immediately, and I'm anticipating, because of their left ear. So this is where it's good in a way where you use the experience from the previous ear to then formulate in your mind how you're going to approach removing the wax in their second ear. Now, there's always individual differences between ears even, so there's no guarantee that this patient's got a large bony protrusion on the anterior canal wall in the right ear, but let's have a look. So there is, you can see there is a bit of a protrusion. It's probably not as prominent as their left, but again, if I went in with the hook and rotated it and pulled the hook out, the hook might have got caught in behind the protrusion. So there's some oil, residual oil, that's just sunk into the ear, and it's collected and got trapped. Again, it's got trapped in the inferior recess and the anterior recess. So the part of the ear canal behind the protrusion is called the anterior recess. So I just went in with a fine end suction gauge just to remove that. There's the plugs of wax, and I've just put a ruler underneath so you can